We are live. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another Monday night with a Minute with Stoney Stone. And I am Stoney Stone, and my sidekick,
Darren with Standard Issue Fishing Team.
look, he's got this down solid. After weeks of doing this, you got this. We got a great show tonight. You practiced. You said on the toilet. I got a great guest tonight, Willie Mays, if he calls on. I haven't seen him on the board yet, but Willie Mays from Amazing Fishing down in Lancaster is supposed to join us. He's one of my sponsors that provides us with Triple X blood, and anytime there's an event or going on, he always gives us a little care package to give away for donations. So we're going to talk to him tonight. Catfish.
Is there such a thing anymore, though?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Catfish Derby is coming up. I got some news about, or Darren's got some news he's going to share about that. And today was kind of a cool day. We were filming in the afternoon with Kevin Brock, and we weren't fishing, so we're going to talk about that. And that's kind of the lineup. Before we get into that stuff, where'd you fish this last weekend?
Didn't get a fish this last weekend.
Did not fish.
Got stuck at home doing the honeydews.
That's 2 weekends in a row.
No.
No?
The weekend before was,
that's the video we worked on.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. That was Clash of the Titans. I stayed home last weekend licking my wounds.
You did, but the video I edited was the Clash of the Titans video. Yes, that's what it was.
Yep.
So we worked on that. If you haven't seen that video, Standard Issue Fishing Team, what did we call that? That was a 27-pound catfish.
27-pound catfish with watermelon chicken for the win.
Watermelon chicken for the win.
Yep.
So if you haven't ever tried watermelon chicken, it's definitely going to get you a 27-pound catfish.
It was a good time.
No, that watermelon is what is it? It was a Jello Kool-Aid. What was it?
Yeah, it was a watermelon Jello with garlic.
Okay, Jello.
Yep.
And
try something different.
Something different, and it got you that 27-pounder. Good job. Yep. That was awesome. I ended up going to Knight's Landing this last weekend with my buddy Anthony, doing some striper fishing. And the last time I went to Knight's Landing, I took my sister out. I've taken her out twice to go fishing because I'm like bragging about how we catch all these fish. Yep. And twice I've gone out with her, we got skunked. So I eventually had to get her on Kevin's boat so she can get some fish. And then we caught that 41-inch thing. So nice. Kevin definitely got her on. And here I am just going, what am I doing?
Yep.
So I had to redeem myself. We went to Knight's Landing. We started, got a lot of tips from Kevin. Been helping him out a lot. And he's like, we'll do this, and this. The biggest thing is use his rod, using his lures. And as soon as we dropped in, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get out of Knight's Landing, we went upriver, just dropped right as soon as we got into the little deep water in the corner.
Nice.
And then trolled out of that deep water into that probably 10, 15 foot of water. Yep. The river's down right now. The river's down literally about 10, 15 feet. At least it was on the weekend. So the water flow is pretty low. Water's down. We trolled. We could have had our limits in an hour. But
if it wasn't for Stone losing fish.
I lost a fish. Anthony lost a fish. And then we're like, we just need one more.
Don't throw Anthony under the bus.
He lost a fish too. He did.
I didn't see that on video, though.
You're right. I didn't put it on video. Mine was, I think his was hit and it lost farther back. Mine was like at the boat. Yeah. We're ready to think it's going to come in. And Kevin watched the video and he says, you jinxed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you said that here's our last fish. We limited out. So you never say the word, I'm going to limit. As soon as he's like, I'm watching that video, and you said you limited out. And as soon as I'm like, he just jinxed himself. And then when it popped, he's all, I knew it. So never say you're going to limit out.
No.
And there's a few other words you never say, like wind.
Yep.
What's the other one?
We call those mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes, yes. You don't say wind, but no wind, no limit out. There's a few other words. If you know some, let us know. But there's a few things you never say on the boat. Some people have a banana superstition.
Yeah.
I believe in the banana thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got on the striper. Took our last fish down to Verona. Not a lot going on there, but trolling up, we got our last fish, and that was it. So that's where we did with striper this week. And then what happened was Kevin came by today. So Kevin came to the house. We took the complete studio from upstairs, moved it downstairs, and we did a complete Cooking with Stoney Stone. If you guys haven't checked out that channel, Half Baked, Cooking with Stoney Stone, Fishing with Kevin Brock, or Cooking with Kevin Brock today. And we took the striper we caught on Saturday and cooked that stuff up.
Very good.
Today,
Very
dude.
good food.
What do you think?
Awesome.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean,
battered striper.
Yeah, so he's got this recipe that you can buy online at fishkevinbrock.com, or a lot of the tackle places have them if they don't get them. But it's a cool beer batter. So we'll watch that video. It'll come out here probably in a couple of weeks. But that the beer batter, and then Eric had this Baja sauce, he calls it, that we did
screaming too.
Before on one of the podcasts, or not even on podcasts. We were doing it just pre-gaming, or we come and eat dinner and stuff. But we made that on film. It is fire. It's got to, so you got to wait for this to come out. It's amazing. And I don't even like those white creamy sauces.
That's not what I heard.
I don't like
creamy sauce, Stoney.
I do not like white creamy sauce, but it was delicious. I know. I'm like, how do I say that? But Eric's.
You shouldn't open your mouth and say you don't like the white creamy
I know.
sauce.
It's like, this can be cut and put so many different ways. But it was great. We I made some Brussels sprouts and bacon. Brussels sprouts only taste good with bacon. We kicked that up a notch with some heat. What else did we have? We had that
mac and cheese.
We had this mac and cheese. My soon-to-be daughter-in-law, she's engaged to my son. Denise made this fire. It was great. Macaroni and cheese for Mother's Day. So we just kind of reheated that, and that was good.
Yep.
And I think that was it. Oh, there was also the striper that he put together in the
baked.
Not baked. What was it? Sautéed.
Sautéed. Oh, okay.
Tons of butter.
Very good.
Garlic. So I don't even remember, but you're gonna have to watch the video when we put all this together. Yep. But cooking with Stoney Stone, and that was kind of what happened today. And that was an awesome day. We filmed pretty much all afternoon, and then we had to tear the studio down and bring it back upstairs for this podcast. Willie Mays make it on yet?
I believe he is. Looking.
So we're gonna bring our special guest in. Let's see if Willie Mays is on. I'm gonna unmute him, get him situated. What's going on here? Ooh, there he is. Look at that. Willie Mays, you're looking good, buddy. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Stoney Stone?
Look, he's styling and profiling. He's all
appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So what's going on? Oh, what is that?
Nice.
Boots and hose.
Oh, boats and hose.
Love it.
Hose.
So I'm going to do a little story time here, Willie. I met you, I don't know, it's been a few years, catfishing at Clear Lake, and we got introduced, and you started sponsoring Old Farts Fishing with that Triple X Blood, and a lot of your products. You'd give me some care packages. I got hats and shirts and sweaters and things that you've given me personally, but you're always there to donate to the cause, right? If there's events, tournaments, you're always giving me a package to give out, and we do those. So we definitely love you, appreciate you for all that and all you do, sponsoring Old Farts.
Hey, I got to tell you, Willie, my buddy's been starting to use that stuff. Stoney gave me a bottle of that Triple X Bud. He made a believer out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And he never used to use since, and now he's like, where's that stuff at?
Yeah, I really, really appreciate the work that Anthony Sparks, Stoney Stone, Daniel, a lot of gentlemen up there using our bait, even Lakeport Bait and Tackle for even letting us in the store. But we are 3 people, my wife, we have 1 employee and a guy that's on call, and Jesus Christ, to get us through this. The main thing is our bait just has to work. And people never know the bio or whatever, and they just think, I threw this stuff together, but I went to Maryland University, went to molecular structure school through the Army. I was on a nuclear launch, 7-man launch team. I launched 3 nukes. That's why I have the bad hearing. So that's how I learned how to make this. And most of the time, people don't know, I was fishing the Pro-Am military bass circuit through Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. And in the launch and area, we only could go to Germany or back to Oklahoma. So I would go there, and that was just for school and stuff like that. So they would loan us out if we stayed long because we didn't have nothing to do. And we didn't work on weekends. We didn't do any of that. And so I would go and do all these tournaments, and then I started getting good at it. But what happened with this right here is I started seeing like really big fish, And I didn't have that. I didn't have any money, so I didn't have a boat, and I would rent one or become like a co-angler or something like that. And it was kind of tough in the South, or really in Arkansas sometime in the morning, and I would show up with no boat. And if you and Stone had a boat, only the registered owner was in that boat. Everybody else went into a lottery, or someone had to let me get on their boat. So
Okay.
sometime I would get a rental boat, whatever. But I won a lot of big bass stuff. But the main thing, I would lose tournaments looking at huge, huge bass and not being able to catch them. 13, 14 pounders. I won Angler of the Year 3 times, won a boat. But that's what made me start praying and trying to make something that would make these things eat. And I would watch Bill Dance and Roland Martin. Skeet
Yeah.
Reese was in this town in Lawton, Oklahoma, and he would be there at this tackle shop every Saturday. And I'd go up there, and then he showed me how to slow roll the worm.
Nice.
After that, that's all I fished. Spinnerbait, big sluggo is what it was called, but now I fish another one called a jerk and big lizards. So people always think it was this crazy catfish thing, but that happened like a little bit later. I just was always fishing for big bass. I fished for Bob Groupie at Cass Lake for some world record bass before he passed away. And the fish attractant pulsate 9 iridescent colors, which the bass can see in colors. It would make them tip up. I was doing trips and catching them with bubblegum, cigarette butts, on that fish attractant and put on that bed, it would get it. So, seeing how we're here and we got some Triple X, we might as well shake some up. And people complain because I never show them exactly what I'm using. Yeah, they're out of the packs, but I'm gonna show you what I like to throw. And Clear Lake is a big bass lake. Pick up some of these 8, 9-inch big lizards, and you want the ones that got the full flop on them, especially in these leg areas. I don't know how this camera's working, and that big hook tail. And the main colors are, the salamander colors. Green weenie is always dangerous out there. And we slow roll these. And I mean, I love catching huge bass. I hunt them down every morning before I go to work. I want to catch one and then I have a better day. So most of the time people say, I didn't see you put it on there. The main thing is I'm going to put it in the bag with the lures and mill it around. And I really wanted to impregnate those lures. And then it's ready to go. We're going to be bass fishing tomorrow. So this is a paste formula of the Triple X blood. And it just hangs on the bass lures really thick. So the salamanders, if you ever had one in your hand, are slimy as heck.
Yep.
So that's what you want on there when you 1 second, him the bite to set the hook and me bring that fish in, especially when I'm fishing for money. And, in Oklahoma, I didn't have any. So this is how I was getting the tournaments, just getting invited and catching big fish. And then I would show people these same things I'm showing you guys. And I would just fish those 3 baits and tear them up. I didn't tell them anything about the fish attractant. It didn't have a name then or anything. I was just making it in a big 50-gallon drum and hoping for the best. It didn't work for like 15 years the correct way. It caught fish, but like in the 15-year mark, doing all our, and it's just me, my wife, and Jesus, our trials and tribulations, we got it to work exactly the way we want it to.
Well, we definitely know it works. So one thing I want to know with that little thing you show with the worm or lizard, will that work on the river? You think it'll work on the river?
Oh my God. me swing back
So,
there.
so what I want to do is I don't do a lot of bass fishing. I'll do striped bass fishing, right? But
Yeah.
I'm not a big bass fishing, and Anthony and I keep talking about doing some bass fishing. So I'm hoping that I can hook up with you, Willie, here and get some of that stuff, get that little thing going, and I want to try it out and prove it that the guy that never bass fishes is going to go out there, try it, and catch some bass.
Yeah.
And the main thing is they hate this salamander because they know it's going to eat the eggs. So the river, you're just going to add an underspin setup. All this does is screw into the head. Striper will even hit this thing. You watch you catch a big striper with it. And all I'm going to do is screw this into the head. And we got the current, so there's a little weight on it. They have different size weights. I like it kind of light because the salamander kind of creeps around. He crawls. I'm going to pull him back. We're going to skin hook this rascal, bring that right out. And they want to kill it. So you don't have to get a giant hook and try to hook him back in here because they're going to hit him in the head because these things are going to fall this way with this weight set up into the nest. Or they're going to be swimming down like they're looking for something. And Stoney, this thing will get killed. I mean,
All right.
catfish will be, you don't know what they eat this lizard. Anything that eats an eel will kill this thing. And then with lateral line vibration, that striper or largemouth, smallmouth doesn't even have to see it. He just knows that it's coming. And then you add that with scent, it's going to be a hookup any second.
So you can do that whole setup with. I can get that from you. You can ship that to me, right?
Yeah, I'll ship you one. I'll ship the whole setup. You can start
Send me a
throwing
whole
it.
setup. Send me a few. Send me the bill. I'll send you some money.
Oh,
But
don't worry about the story.
I want to get some. I want to do a video next weekend out there with me trying this out. It'll be a good. So here's one of the things
Yeah.
is if I'm successful at it, you're going to see that video. If I'm
You,
not, you're never going to see that video.
Yeah, as long as you
maybe
just,
I should try it.
Oh,
slow roll it. I tell
slow roll.
people, if you just slow roll it, you can contact the bottom with it. You can bump it. People ask me, Willie, do you fish it in different configurations? I was like, yes, this is a smaller lizard than this guy. So this is a bed lizard. Not too intimidating, little shy, might get in trouble. Big lizard, bed lizard. They're on the bed. I'm going to swim this little guy around them and then, get them torn up. So I will set it up with a bead and just a hook. And I love fishing 10-inch. From a fishing plastic, it's going to be 10-inch. And you can just ask the girls why. Yeah. Yeah, big mama don't want that. Big
That's
mama
10
wants
inches. That's what I told her.
Yeah, big mama know what 10 inches looks like. She'll come get that.
Yeah.
It is.
So
So,
I'll
I
tell you.
tell people when you want to improve, someone I don't even know while I was fishing the bass circuit said, Willie, we've been, following you all over and you're angler of the year, you're catching all these fish, but you're bottoming out at this weight. He said, then you got these big fish here, boom, boom, like 14 was my biggest bass, 13s, I had a lot of 11s. He said, but you only get that one, then he said, it's something that you're doing wrong. So he said, show me where you're fishing. So I showed him the lures and stuff like that. He was like, increase the size 4 times of those lures.
Oh, wow.
So instead of a 2-inch worm,
10-inch.
10-inch.
Okay.
wow.
Instead of a 4-inch lizard, 6-inch, 8-inch lizard. Instead of catching 4 and 5 pounders, catching 8s, 9s. Saltwater, I'm using the same setup, catching double-digit calicos. So it will work fresh or saltwater, the same setup. So you can use all that stuff all over. But People never know. Yeah, I love fishing for big bass. Yeah, I love hunting big bass down.
Yeah, I learned that tonight because I didn't know that about you. I just thought I knew Big Willie from catfishing, and I see
Oh,
you out there doing a bunch of different things, and I
yeah.
never really got to hear these stories, but there is a story I want you to tell us. So
Uh-oh.
I met you at Clear Lake, and we were doing the tournaments, and we
Oh, man.
fished a few tournaments together, and there's one story I want to say first, and then I'll get into a couple of. I want Big Willie to tell us the story, but when I met Willie, we were going to do a tournament together. I call him up. I never met the man in person, right? So he arranges everything. He's gonna stay at my house. Come to my house. Never met the guy. I'm letting a stranger to come stay at my house, but I trusted him. I kind of felt like I knew him. He comes into the kitchen, and all of a sudden I look over, and I'm not even joking. He's eating a piece of chicken, and I'm like, I'm sitting there. I don't know Willie from just met him, right? Just from Facebook and stuff, and so I'm like, there's so many thoughts going through my head. It's like, here's this man coming to my house. He's in my kitchen eating chicken. And I'm like, Willie, where'd you get that chicken? He just reaches his pocket and he has a bag of chicken. He's like, I got to be prepared. I might get delayed. It's like, and there's so many, and I'm trying not to laugh. I'm like, what is going on? I just thought it was the funniest thing. And then we started just getting chicken when we go fishing. Just to get a bucket of chicken, and we'd have these pictures and videos of eating chicken, and Willie would fish with us, and we won big fish one time, like $500.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got that chicken
Yeah.
in there.
Oh yeah, so the luck of the chicken.
There's
Um,
that good stuff.
but on one of these trips, he's telling us about the Creek Lady.
Oh, no.
So you gotta tell us about the Creek Lady because Anthony and I, every time we're out there, we looking for that Creek Lady. And she's there, but Willie, tell us about the Creek Lady. I gotta hear it right from you. Everybody's gotta hear that story.
Man, this is a good one. This
This
is a
is a
good
good
one.
one.
So, um, I had sent a bunch of teams to Clear Lake. They won the tournaments a bunch of times and everything. So they were like, "Oh, you got to come, instead of, making this stuff." So I come up there one time and I bring my big boat, 22 footer. I got the cuddy cab, camper enclosure downstairs. So I'm not never getting off the lake. I don't care how windy it gets. I'm not leaving the lake. The entire time I'm staying on the lake. So I got my buddy with me, and they say it's going to come up to 20, white capping or whatever. So I'm GPSing. I'm like, we're 15 minutes away from this creek. So we take off. I'm busting waves. We strap everything down, and we get to the creek. I don't know where this one is at, but if you know where what is that place? Rattlesnake Cove is here on this side of the lake. All the way on the other side, there's some creek somewhere.
Some creek.
We go into the creek because I'm following the GPS, and it looks deep enough. There's a couple little sticks and whatever, but I'm like, if we get back around a couple of these corners, we're gonna be out of the wind. We're gonna set up. I said they've been catching big ones in these creeks. I said I'm not letting these creek people beat me. So I'm like fishing all night, So I haven't seen anyone. So we get set up. We got the camper enclosure up. My buddy is saying he's going to wait up all night. We get a couple bites, small fish here, there, whatever, nothing big. So I'm like, I'm going downstairs, unless something really starts, doing. I said, knock on the thing, or, I said, you can sleep on the other side. I said, whatever. So he's like, no, I'm going to stay up in the bed up here. So next thing I'm like, and I hear, hey, what are you doing? And so now, I'm in my chonies, so I'm jumping up. And I'm like, I'm opening the door. I'm like, Cisco, what's going on? And then he had profanity, which he don't usually use. And he said, Willie, there's one of these bees out here by the boat. And I said, what? He said, the woman is out here, women next to the boat on a bee rope. So I'm coming up out of it. And I come up out, and I come out, and I got the flashlight. And I tell you what, Stoney, I will never ever forget that she had on the nicest pair of blue jeans, nice bright with a red sweater, blonde hair. She was laying on something so small of a pea roll, and she had a log, and she was whooshing it as she was going away. And she looked back at us and gave us one of those looks like that Ichabod Crane, and she went right around the corner and disappeared. And if he wouldn't have been there, no one ever believes the Creek Lady story. And she's red sweater, blonde hair. She was dressed like she was going out. And I don't know what she was floating on, but she was, after I talked to my buddy Cisco, and when she went around the corner, I said, "What the heck is going on, man?" He said, "Did you see her?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "She was on the side of the boat." I said, "What?" He said, "I heard some scratching around." So he said, "I don't know if she was trying to reach up and get a rod and then swim away with it."
She wanted a rod, all right.
The rod's in the water, so she'd have to cut the line or take her hands off this little board she had. And he said, "I yelled at her," and she said, "He looked at me," and she just rolled away. He said, "That's what I want to do."
She rolled away.
So she's out there, she's probably 5'4", blonde hair, 135 pounds in the
You got the
summertime,
measurements?
blue jeans, red sweater, full length neck, long sleeve arm sweater, and her arms weren't wet, but she was. So
I ain't going on that lake at night now.
No, but Anthony and I swear, we're out there. We'll be driving like through the Oaks, and we'll see the Creek Lady walking on the side with her blue jeans, a red. I'm like, dude, there's the Creek Lady. I swear I saw the Creek Lady.
that's all.
She's the one that lives in the bathroom.
I don't know. There's one that lives in the Oaks bathroom. That might be the Creek Lady's sister. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll see it. Blue jeans, red sweater.
I love
Oh,
that
goodness.
story, Big Willie. I tell it all the time, but you're a master at it. You lived it. You tell it a lot better, and so
That's the craziest
awesome.
story. No one
It
believed us in the morning. They was like, "How come you guys didn't take a picture?"
yeah, no, I'd be afraid. Medusa or some shit.
I was like, we were watching her. I was like, "This is freaking me out." I was like, "Shit."
I was all freaked out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Willie, if people want to get your stuff, right? They want to get any product, anything. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
And I can put it on here. We have the 24-hour bait hotline, and we have amazing fishing .shop, and that's open 24 hours. Our fishing shop. Let me see if I can put it on here.
And I'll put it all in a video in post production anyway. So we'll have it out when people watch it later.
Shop. And tonight we do have a special going on. So let me open one of these. And if you guys are on and you're waiting for bait, we did send everything out to Lakeport Bait and Tackle. So they're getting loads of bait. It's going to be there by Thursday. But we are doing buy one, get one free tonight for the Stony Stone show. So you guys can,
Nice.
and I'm going to put that in there. Stony Stone can give you a code or whatever. Put Stony Stone
Just
show.
put Stony Stone in there.
And that's what you're going to get. And as long as you put that in there, we're going to send you one, and then we're going to get you out. A lot of people have been loving this. I know we sent Stony Stone one, but new liquid stank. And this is
we use that. We definitely use that. We
a
have it.
design label, but there's now a new label after we sold 1,000 of these things. And
The
then
bottle
we-
I have, it just has a bottle and it says liquid stink in black magic marker. So I definitely got a prototype.
yeah. So that
And we
was a
use
prototype.
Yeah.
That was a
Dude, it
prototype.
works. It works. We've been catching some big fish. If you guys are watching the Old Farts page, and we're using it for striper, using it for catfish, we're using it. And we've caught some pretty big striper lately, and I'm going to go catch some big ones, this little lizard thingy.
Yep.
Oh, dang. It's all kind of people on here. Anthony's the garlic, the Anise, yeah, Blue
Oh
Diamond.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Good. I
we
didn't
got it
see you
all,
guys.
man.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
how we made that one is, and it's been catching everything. Like, I just got like whatever, and I'll pray on these things. And me and my wife, we make the stink bait. So we make the stink bait and we cook it by the sun. We like to do green peas things, and we have it in 55-gallon drums. It takes about a year for us to cook this. And I won this recipe
It's like
in
wine.
Oklahoma in a knife filleting contest from this guy.
Okay.
So that's how I got the recipe.
Okay.
And so when we're making this stuff, there's a buildup of oil that comes off once it starts boiling in the summer and gets about 100 degrees. And then sometimes I don't know what to do with it because it's so much of it. We need to get to the byproduct at the bottom. And sometimes I put it in the garden, I put it in the roses. People are like, how you got these giant roses? So
The roses are big.
yeah, finally, people were telling me because we have catfish roundup every Memorial's Day, which we're having, and it's all about stink bait and how it slings all over. I don't care. I'm a stink baiter. I love to get it funk on me. And so they were like, if it didn't do that, we'd love it. So a derivative from the stink bait was the oil from the stink bait mixed with our secret formula, which made liquid stink, which you could put this on our sponge baits, whatever, and then have the same strength of stink bait. But now you're not slinging funk all over the boat, all over people, but you're making that 5-foot oil slick. I mean, yeah, if you don't like it and you're not around it, you don't want to fish by anybody slinging stink bait because it'll get all over you. But that's how all these weird things get made. But I don't want to take up all the time talking now. I get to run it off, man. I'm crazy.
Oh, I know you're running. We were running a little late now, but you want to
Are
give you
we?
some
How long
time.
is it supposed to go? Are we getting charged?
No, you can tell. I'll send you a bill. No, we went a little long, Willie. That's all right though. But you know, you got a lot to say. We got some good stories. We know how to get a hold of you. I know you got some stuff going in for the Derby, so you know I'm sure they appreciate that. So go to the Lakeport Bait and Tackle if you guys are fishing the Derby, and go get that stuff. Hey, appreciate you, brother.
Yes,
And
thank you.
like I said, send me some of those lizard things or whatever, and just send me a bill. We'll you know, Darren and I are going to put that stuff to use.
Oh, no problem. I'll send you some. We got a bunch of prototypes, so I'll send you Jerry and Anthony the whole kit.
We got it. We'll get it. We'll get it going. So appreciate you, man. So,
All right.
Darren, what did you hear about the Derby?
Well, I was looking on, what is it? Let me look here real quick.
One of the Facebook media thingies.
Catfish Clear Lake fishing. And 'cause I've never fished the Derby yet, and I planned to do it, but it wasn't going to happen this year. But I was reading a Clear Lake fishing page today that they're having speedboat trials
During the Derby?
during the Derby.
Who
All
does
3
that?
days.
All 3 days. That
All
is
3 days.
insane.
They're having speedboat trials out there going around Rattlesnake Island is what I'm reading.
Oh no, that's where I fish.
And that's where a lot of people are fishing is Rattlesnake Island and over towards Soda Bay.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think
Well-
it's going to mess up a lot of fishing this weekend.
Well, I got to say then I'm not that disappointed for not registering because you know
Exactly.
we're doing so many different tournaments with the you know mainly for me is the bashes. We're doing all
Yeah.
the bashes.
Yep.
And everything else outside the bash pretty much got canceled this year for
But I
permits
do
and
need to
those
bring
things.
up one thing about the bashes.
Yes, sir.
How many we got left? 3, 2?
We have the summer bash. So that's June. We have August, hot August nights. Then we have October,
So we got 3 plus the
then-
invitational.
and then the invitational.
So 4.
Yep.
Okay, so for the next 3, here's the challenge for you.
For me, I have a challenge.
Yes.
Next 3
It's
bashes.
between me and you.
Okay.
So if I beat you,
Okay.
you have to replace one of these pictures
Oh
on the wall
shit, that's right.
with my picture.
I actually printed one. I haven't framed it yet, but now like this, we're gonna wait. So
But now, if you win, we'll let you keep your pictures up.
so by the end of the year, I guess you're gonna have all your pictures on the wall because we'll see.
It could happen. It could
All right.
happen.
Anthony, you feel that? We got a challenge. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how these pictures change with there. And I like
Because
that.
I mean, even Anthony's up here, so
I know.
Anthony's got something at stake here.
He does.
You know.
So we got to keep our wall like it is and see if Daring makes
Yep.
the wall.
Yep.
I like
So-
it. No, I like that. So Catfish Derby, you guys that are fishing it, good luck. It sounds like it's gonna be a shit
rough.
show. So
It's gonna be rough.
I didn't even check the weather. I know it's supposed to rain maybe Sunday around, but I don't know what's going on wind wise. I haven't even looked
I
at
haven't
it.
paid
But
attention too much.
anyway, good luck to everybody out there fishing the Catfish Derby. Where am I? I'm sitting here looking at my agenda. Oh, you know, the other thing that's interesting before we move, or after we move on from that, is the mussels. That's what I wrote here. I couldn't read I crossed it off because I couldn't read my writing, but I'm going to call it the mussels BS, the whole thing. So here's the thing, and this is how I understand it. I live by Folsom Lake, and Folsom Lake, it was probably a month ago or so, put out this thing is that you have to get inspected.
Yep.
And you're
then
quarantined. So you go there, they inspect your boat, they basically marry your boat to your trailer with a little cable, and then you're quarantined for 30 days. And then after that, you can go back. As long as you're tagged, you can go.
Yeah.
And then they re-tag your boat, re-put it on, and that's what's going on at Folsom.
Yep.
Berryessa
There's
is going
one
on.
other lake you can go with that same tag, and I can't remember which one it is, but there's one other lake.
And this is where I'm going with this, right? Is a lot of these lakes I'm hearing that Orville may be doing it here, was on a Facebook post. I'm hearing that Boulder's Bar may end up going there, and also Comanche, who knows when Collins Lake. Clear Lake may be at some point, is just what I'm saying. I've never heard anything about it. What I like about Clear Lake is they got this mussel sniffing dogs.
Yes.
So you go there, they sniff. I mean, like, why can't we just do that? I don't get it. You know, have the dog sniff it. So there's some politics or something. I don't know, but Clear Lake has it with the dog. My thing is, if I'm tagged at Folsom, let's use as an example. If I'm tagged at Folsom, and then I decide to go to Berryessa, and Berryessa is already a tag, situation, is why aren't the tags universal across lakes? So once you've been to a lake that's a tagged lake, you should be able to go to any of those tagged lakes.
Yes.
And get re-tagged, and you're still good to go. Why? I mean, to me, it just seems logical, smooth. Why? Just why?
For one reason, different water agencies don't want to work together.
Okay.
For two, I don't believe the counties want to work together. And for three,
this whole shift has been tremendously difficult.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. It's terrible. They're trying to marry you to one lake, and I believe it's just a matter of time before they start charging you for these inspections.
Oh yeah, it's California just becoming a so.
I mean, and then we're just fishermen. Think about these guys that have these $250,000.
All the recreational people
that can only take their boat to one lake now, and if they decide to want to go somewhere else, they might be getting to take their boat out 4 times during the year if they're doing this 30-day quarantine. It's gonna work.
It's a good time to buy a boat. I think those boat prices are going to be dropping.
It could. It definitely could.
So yeah, I don't want to make it real. I'm just saying the big message I have is know before you go. It's changing rapidly, so don't get all hyped up, get loaded up, ready to go. You get there and it's like, sorry, you can't fish or boat or do whatever you're going to do on the water. Just know before you go, do your research, find out what the latest is, and that way you're not stuck with a big old surprise.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to upset a lot of people.
A lot going on in the fishing world. Our numbers are going up a little bit. We're doing a thing. We got a long guest list of people next week on the 19th. I got Rob Stoddard from Rod Stoddard's Guide Service coming on. And Warren, Fredrickson is going to join us the following week. And the list just keeps going on. I think I posted on Facebook. It does change every once in a while, but definitely, got some people coming in. Jane Stone's going to come on and talk about salmon.
Okay.
He's been going lobbying, doing a lot of stuff with the salmon, trying to get the salmon stuff back. And I think there may be a little bit of a salmon season that's going to open up. So hopefully, he can hold that and come on. If something changes date-wise, we might pull him in a little bit early if I can get some time with him. But he's working hard doing his politics or whatever to make that happen. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of people, I'm just thinking that salmon season's going to be like the Rogue River. If you ever gone out there, it's combat fishing.
Insane.
And it goes back to the etiquette, right? It goes back to Everybody's got their spots and all these rules and all this stuff. And there's tournament rules, and then there's fishing rules, there's guide rules, and there's unwritten rules. There's just things that go onto the water. And you get into that Rogue River, you're inches, feet away from other boats and lines and fish. But what amazed me was how well they worked together.
Exactly. They
shocked.
have respect for each other.
Yes, there's a huge respect thing. And I think that's the thing, right? And I call it fishing etiquette.
Yeah.
But it's really about respect, right? So when Anthony and I were on the river, there's a boat, pretty big boat there, trolling, doing the same thing we're doing. And we're fishing side by side sometimes. They'd hook up on a fish, and then I'd catch up to them and pass them. We'd hook up on a fish, and we were kind of doing this jogging thing back and forth. There was times I felt like I corked them, I cut them off a little bit, and I would correct, right? But never did they get all mad about, hey, you corked me, or this or that, or I got mad at them. We just worked. I don't know who these guys were, right? I probably made another friend or another follower just because you told them who we were. It's all on my boat. They know where to go. And so it was just a cool thing. We had a great time. No issues whatsoever on the water. We're getting recognized a lot, which is good.
Mutual respect is all.
Mutual respect. So that's what I'm just telling people. The message is just do better. Go out there, have fun. Remember why you're there. Shit happens, but you don't need to take it to a personal level. You don't need to be yelling at people, cussing them out. I've had lots of issues on the water with people where they're the ones that the instigators, and I always take that higher road. I'm not going to engage.
Yeah.
Call it what you want. Call me a pussy. Do whatever. But you know what? It's not worth it.
No.
If that spot means that much to you, I'll go somewhere else. I don't care. Fish have fins. They swim. They move.
Yep.
So I'll just go somewhere else. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
So even in a tournament, I'm not going to get into it in a tournament.
No.
I'll just move. Either we're going to work and fish together and everything's going to be fine, or you're not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's the thing. The fish could be 5 feet this way, 5 feet that way.
Well, and we've
Doesn't
proved
matter.
that, right?
Yep,
We've gone
we've
out
done
and fished side by side, literally 2 feet away from each other, talking, having fun, having a good time with our lines, using the same rods, the same lures, the same bait.
Yep.
And you're hooking fish up, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
The only difference is either I'm on the inside of you or I'm on the outside of you, which is going to change depths and stuff. But that little bit makes a difference.
And that's the thing. You're never going to keep somebody from catching their fish.
Right.
That's just ridiculous,
So
Now, unless they're doing circles around you or something like that.
doing donuts.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that might keep you from catching fish.
It might. Well, even it's different on the river and on the lakes, right? It's just kind of different.
Yeah.
So when I'm on the river fishing and the boats are coming up the river, and a lot of guys will slow down because they're trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I get it, but in my mind, what happens is it actually is worse because it makes a bigger wake. Yeah. So the waves, but just fly by.
Yeah.
The wake is less, and after they fly by, all those fish that are in the middle, guess where they went? Yep. They push to the outside. Yep. Every time they go by, flying by, I get hooked up. Yep. I've caught a lot of big fish right after a big boat went by and caused.
But these are also fish stories, so.
Fish stories? What, about me catching fish? Oh my God. I catch fish, trust me. I do. I caught the big one. I caught 30-inch striper last weekend. And I have the video posted today to prove it. Okay. There's no lies.
Okay.
I actually got a bigger.
You're a very good editor too.
That's thank you for the compliment.
Is he?
Is he? Oh, Eric. So yeah, I've seen your videos. They suck. So with that being said, you got to look at Catfish Wars trailer that Eric worked on, where
awesome.
It works for me.
Awesome.
Shows you the quality that can come out of Blue Dream Productions. Is the stuff that I do is the fun, quick, dirty. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm putting it out there. I'm just creating content. But when you want something paid for, produced, go check out Catfish Wars. You can definitely see that we can do high level stuff through Blue Dream Productions, and it takes time. For me to pump out a video every single week, or actually we're doing 2 or 3 because I got the podcast video I do. I'm doing our fishing video. I'm doing Kevin Brock's podcast. I'm fishing with Kevin Brock and doing his. So you think about it, I'm pumping out probably 4. And then yours. So I'm doing at least 4 videos a week.
Because I can't figure it out.
And then you saying, Stoney, can you do mine? So now I got 5 videos a week if you're fishing. And I got to darn it. So when you try to do Catfish Wars, you can't pump that volume to have the quality. So for me, it's just about getting content out. It's just showing stuff and just getting stuff.
But at the same time, you get the quality if you need it.
Right. So I'm hoping that what I filmed today with Eric's help is he did all the film work, is see if I can edit some good quality footage into something really cool with cooking with Stony Stone and
That'd be awesome.
cooking up all this
This food
striper.
was great.
Oh my God, it was fire.
Food was great.
I'm like, we're gonna end this thing on time, and I think we're gonna go down and eat some more food. There's not much. We have to make some more. I still have striper in the refrigerator that you have to take home because it's still there, and I'm not gonna eat it. I might keep one little piece because it's just Jill and I.
Yeah.
But you can take the rest home. Don't forget.
Talk to the wife.
And get some of that batter, and it was good. Yes, sir.
Real quick, what do you got planned for the weekend for fishing?
So I'm thinking the weather's supposed to be maybe raining Sunday, but I'll wait as it changes.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of the water or the rain. I'm more don't like the wind.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of on this striper kick, so I think I'm going to go back to Knight's Landing and just see if I can do a repeat. Can we catch? And Anthony and I did that. So one time we went out Knight's Landing. And you were telling us, oh, catch a pike minnow, catch a pike minnow. And I've done it before and never caught a fish on a pike minnow. And I'm like, I don't know why people waste their time on this. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen to Darren. I go out there, and I must have caught a 35-inch huge striper. It's got pictures, video of it on my Facebook, YouTube. So Anthony and I go back out there the next weekend and go, let's do it again. I'm thinking, there's no way lightning is going to strike twice because those are big fish to catch. So we went out there, we caught a couple pike minnow, moved to our other spot to use the pike minnow because where we catch it versus where we use it is not the same spot. So we catch the pike minnow, go to the spot where we know they're fish. Boom, Anthony hooks up to a big 35, huge fish. So I'm like, back-to-back weekends. So we're definitely going to try the trolling thing because and if Big Willie sends me those worms, or those lizards, I'll be using those and see if I can pull a big striper or even a bass with those. It's just, can I fish it the right way? And that's why I'm like, Anthony, how do I fish this thing? He'll know.
There's some big bass in that river.
There is. So
I caught some using the pike minnow.
Yeah, so we're going to do some trolling, some pike minnow, some lizard from Big Willie, and we're going to give it hell and see if we can get some fish out of it. So are you going there? Are you Saturday or Sunday?
Probably Saturday. I'm going to try to get out on the river. I wanted to go to the bay, do some halibut fishing, but it looks like it's going to be pretty windy. If that changes, I'll definitely be down there trying to catch some halibut. I'd love to get some halibut in the freezer. If not, I will be up in the river, fish for some striper, and I also want to try to get a couple shad.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw in the freezer just for
catfish bait.
Catfish bait, and I heard sturgeon like them too, but
it's closed.
Yeah, it's catch and release.
Catch and release.
Who wants to catch a bunch of fish and release them all?
Not all. I want to keep a couple. You like to eat fish. I like to release because I don't eat a lot of fish. But anyway, we're at the top of the hour.
Yep.
You got the plan, the fishing report. We gave you the fishing report for this weekend, basically from Knight's Landing. Fishing's still good. Fish are moving down. The water level's low. So if you're running a prop, be careful. We were in 2 feet of water in some spots. So just don't, it's down 10 to 15 feet. By the weekend, it might come back up. But definitely, we got lucky, didn't bottom out. And we'll give you a report for the weekend after this weekend. So thanks for checking in, following Old Farts Fishing, A Minute with Stony Stone. And we'll be back next week with our special guest, which was Rob Stoddard with Stoddard Guide Service. We film with them quite a bit and do all kinds of fishing from kokanee to striper and whatever he does. So we'll learn about Rob. Thanks for joining. And
everybody stay safe on the water.
What is that? What was that thing? Johnny Carson thing, or it's like good night or whatever.
Good night and leave me the hell alone.
Something I don't remember. Good night, everybody.